Hi everyone, this is daveac.blip.tv and this is my vlog 110 for Friday the 27th of August 2010. Well, my TARDIS, my vlog and my wine are all bigger on the inside, so come in and join me. Well, yes, wine at the end, and we're working to this new 15-minute deadline, so KBO, David. Just a very brief mention of the Gallifreyan Embassy Doctor Who Podshop this week. Just to mention that the latest episode is out, and that's episode 219. And of course, you can catch it from the site at podshop.net, or of course, you can go and get it from iTunes. And whilst you're at iTunes, why not download some of the latest Cult and Collective podcasts if you're unable to join us live on our Sunday shows. Last Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on our talk show ID 54821, we did The Deep in Science Fiction and Fantasy. Now, we did briefly talk about The Deep, the BBC series, although in actual fact that's more of a thriller than science fiction. And we do give a warning when we talk spoilery about it. But mainly we're talking about science fiction and fantasy adventures that take place under the ocean. So we went all the way from 20,000 Leagues in the Sea, up to films like The Abyss and Sphere and so on. And we even included some Stingray. Good stuff, all good stuff I hope you will find. So please give that a listen. This coming Sunday, again at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we are talking My Favourite Martian. If you go to my YouTube site, DAC100, you'll see a little promo for it there. But we're basically talking friendly aliens this time. So you've got to think about aliens such as, of course, My Favourite Martian from the old black and white TV days, through to Alf. And of course, we hopefully will be talking about some of the friendly aliens that have appeared on Doctor Who. So join us for that, please. But the first thing that I want to tell you about the Cult and Collective is that we've now done our first interview one. This is a pre-recorded one on Skype, and it's one where we've had Mike as our helper host on the commentary ones that we've done. With this first interview one, we bring on board Howley T, that's Misha, to help both Ian and myself out with this interview. The interview is got an explicit tag because it's talking to a young rising comedian. She's an actress singer, but she's just hit a lot of news on the internet from her latest YouTube video at Rachel Does Stuff. And it's again also explicit, so the title begins with F, so it's F me, Ray Bradbury. Now, because it said Ray Bradbury, Ian got in touch with her, and she was very kind. She came on and gave us an interview because we wanted to find out if she really was a science fiction geek. And so we did an interview with her. It's both funny and informative, I think. So if you're interested in the girl herself and to find out what she's doing, please give that a listen. And I'm going to play a very brief 30-second clip of that now. And here it comes.
Anytime I've done interviewed in the past week, I have also said the people who are fans of this video are probably infinitely more knowledgeable about the subject of specifically science fiction than I am. I am still, for numerous reasons, still really, I feel, putting my toe into the genre. I love it, and every single time I read a science fiction book, I am blown away. I just finished Carl Sagan's Contact, which is for me, that was wonderful to read. I'm sure for a lot of the fans in the video, that's old news, read that when I was 6,
We have a lot of laughs on this, and as I say, it is explicit, so like the video, you have to be registered over 18 to watch it. Really, it's over 16. This podcast is for 16s, just this episode only. So hope you'll catch that. You can also catch it on our Facebook fan page, Cult and Collective Facebook page, or our cultdom.com, or of course, if you subscribe to us on iTunes, you'll get it that way. Okay, I'm not going to talk about any net news. I'm going to stick to Doctor Who, some tech news on my own, and then I'm going to try and have longer on the wine today. Firstly, another piece of Doctor Who news, which I want to thank Lewis for, because he was the one that I read it from, and that is that the BBC have now announced that the Doctor Who proms, the highlights of that, will now be shown on BBC Three here in the UK on the 6th of September at 8:30. This is just the highlights, and this is here in the UK. So really looking forward to watching that. And the other Doctor Who related news is it's the third instalment of the BBC games, the downloadable games that are free here in the UK, and they are region locked, unfortunately, although I believe they will be available on iTunes for a small price. The third one is called TARDIS, hence the bit I said at the beginning of the vblog. Now I've got it set up. I've done through the initial, what the problem is. I'm not going to tell you what the problem is. It all takes place in the TARDIS, and I'm just going to show you how good it looks. And then when we've got the camera moved, I'm going to show you one of the reasons why on my PC it doesn't look quite good. So here we go. And here we have it, and I'm going to try and hold it still. This is Karen, of course, in the TARDIS. And I wanted to just try and give you an idea of just how well the thing looks. You can move her around, of course. You have to be a bit cleverer than me. But look how well that is done. Now, I'm not going to show it long because obviously it's there for people to download it, but I think it looks great. All the adventure takes place and there are problems to solve. The reason why I think it looks pretty good at the moment on my machine is because it's a new machine, a Packard Bell. And I'll tell you about that when we move the camera back, and hopefully the camera behaves and refocuses very quickly so we can get on with the vlog. Yes, there's a little bit of family tragedy behind all this. Two members of my family, my cousin Carolyn and my son Matthew, both had PC disasters last week. Both motherboard went down on one. In fact, I think both of them ended up being motherboard faults. So they both ended up having to get new PCs. My PC has been making some funny noises when I turn it on occasionally. So I've been getting very worried about that, doing these vlogs and podcasts. So I thought, I'm not going to be the third one for it to go down. So preemptively, I went and bought that other PC, which is, I'm in the process of transferring things over. Hopefully it will help me digitize and recode these videos into different formats a lot quicker as well. But it's got this new Core i3 in it, which is supposed to be 40% faster than an equivalent speed dual-core processor and 15% faster than a quad-core processor at the same speed. It's got 3 gigs of RAM in it, half a terabyte hard drive, which I realise is not tremendously big by today's standards, and it's got a reasonably good processor, graphics processor in it, and of course it's running Windows 7. And I thought that Doctor Who game looked pretty good there, and it was actually almost moving too fast on the screen. So very pleased with that. Okay, so that's all that sort of news because I want to give myself a little bit more time on the wine element of today's podcast. Now I'm wearing my Naked Wines. Where's the top? My Naked Wines top. I go to the wrong side. Now that's not because I work for Naked Wines. This was just a freebie I got when I went to one of their wine tastings. But there was a piece of news from Round Gormley that they have just been placed 4th in the top 100 startup companies. So Naked Wine's very pleased about that, and I'm one of their satisfied customers. So I decided I'd celebrate by again showing you one of the Naked Wines. Now I think this wine is available from other stores. I had a quick look online, and it's certainly listed at least 2 places. But what is the wine? Well, it's a rather posh one. It's a special bottle that I got with 5 standard bottles as a little bonus, and it's Hopefully that's focusing. It's Dulcinea, Campos de Dulcinea, you know, the man of La Mancha and all that. Now, that word, obviously the wine type is Tempranillo, but the word above it, Crianza, I think it's pronounced, isn't a grape variety. That's to say that this wine has been in oak for at least 6 months and then left in the bottle for a further 12 months. So that's 18 months before it comes to market. And of course, you'll see it says 2006. It's 13.5%, and that doesn't help me much on the back because it's not in English. And it's not focusing. There we are, it's focusing now. 13.5% product of Spain. Okay, but what does it taste like? Well, before we taste it, let's have a look at it. It's a lovely, dark colour, very dark red. And there's been lots of little flavours coming across while, yeah, it's really big jammy fruit. So let's have a taste. Oh, I'm sorry. That's beautiful. Now, I don't often drink very oaky wines. This has got a lot of oak and it's got a lot of vanilla in it to complement the fruit, but it's not what I would call an oaky wine because the oak and the fruit seem very well integrated. It's very smooth. As I say, lots of vanilla. It's almost so intense it's going to that licoricey side of the jamminess. But it is, and it's got a long finish. This is really a big beefy wine, and it packs. You would think it was more than 13.5%. You think it was more like 14.5%. That is a very big flavoured wine, but it seems very integrated. It's rather posher wine than I would normally buy because, as I say, it was a special integrated bottle into the package. So I think it retails for between something like 10 and 12 pounds, between 10 and 12 euros. So that's going to be $15 to $18, I would think. Of course, with the naked wines, I get the cash back. So it probably cost me the equivalent of £8. So that's what, 9 to 10 euros, maybe $12. But I'm going to have another taste. That is really nice. So I'm going to finish there, and I've just got a minute or so spare just to remind you to please, especially if you're over 16, give our first Culton interview a listen. I put it up in a number of places on a number of forums that not just run their forums that I take part in, the SIFI forums and Gallifrey One and so on, and Doctor Who Online, and also of course the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance. Really great site. If you're interested in lots of Doctor Who podcasts, just put it in Google, DW Doctor Who Podcasters Alliance. So that's DWPA, and you'll find about 40 odd different Doctor Who related, and some that do Doctor Who all the time, some that, like the Culton Collective, do Doctor Who and other science fiction and so on. So with that, I've actually ended on time. Well done, David. Well, there you are, a podcast that was big, and yet I've still fitted it with inside that 15-minute limit. So don't forget to join us for our podcast 61 this coming Sunday. That's Sunday the 29th of August for My Favourite Martian. So with that, I'll leave you and say bye.